Right, guys, thanks very much for joining the call again. We've got Kamal and Jamal. Going to discuss a few things today. Firstly, the 7-2 win over Maccabi Haifa. Then we want to talk about this potential new striker that we're going to get on finally, called Carlos Vinicius. And then we're going to talk just a little bit about the quarterfinal draw after we thrashed Chelsea on Tuesday. So, Kamal, over to you. Can you give us a little bit of an overview or introduction to Maccabi Haifa? Because I personally don't know much about them.
We're missing Steve today, who unfortunately couldn't join us. May join us a bit later, I hope. But welcome, everybody. Kamal from sunny Florida. And before I start, I'd just like to give a big shout-out to Ed, Mr. Grumpy, in Clio, Michigan, USA. He says, come on, you Spurs. And he's an avid Spurs fan and loves the team. So thanks for your support, Ed.
Maybe we can get Ed on a future vlog, yeah? Maybe we can get Ed on.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Maccabi Haifa, I mean, not much really to say. The claim to fame, I would say, is in 1999, they reached the quarterfinals of the Cup Winners' Cup, which is pretty good. They've tried for the last 7 years to get into the qualifying rounds of the UEFA League, very similar to the last team we played. And obviously, this was going to be their big chance today. They didn't make it. They've won a few cups, but I mean, nothing of note. The Israeli, sort of like their version of the FA Cup. At present, they're top of the Ligat in Israel and have won, I think in the last 6 games, I think they won 4, drawn 1 and lost 1. And the interesting thing they do have, though, is they have a lot of international players. So they have the American goalkeeper. They have an old Australian player with the Russian one that almost scored the penalty. And they have a lot of players from around the world. And you may have noticed right at the end, a player that Mourinho had signed at Real Madrid, I think Rodriguez, came on for them in the last few minutes. So they've got quite a team. I think the other claim to fame was, you may all remember, a player called Yossi Benayoun.
Yep.
He ended his career, I believe.
West Ham as well.
Yes, right. Yep. Yes, he was. Yeah, absolutely. He ended his career at Maccabi Haifa. At one time, Avram Grant was also their manager. So I suppose that's the only thing. To say this is the only second time in our history that we've played a Israeli team in a competitive game. The first time we played another team was in the Europa Cup and Berbatov.
I remember that, Hapoel Tel Aviv. Okay, good. Well, thanks very much for that intro, Kamal. But let's have a quick chat about the match now. I'm going to start with Jamal on this. I want you to talk about what your match and your general feelings about what you saw, etc.
I mean, obviously it was a positive result. We did very well. It was lower opposition, but I mean, you beat who's in front of you. We had a harder time in our last qualifier, and it's just so good to see us scoring freely. As far as for Maccabi, they had a lot of good technical players, I would say. Obviously they're players at the level of all players are, but they're taking some fantastic shots from outside the box, and it worked out for them. I mean, I would say that's more down to our closing down of the players, but they got to do their bit to get into the position and take an excellent goal they scored for the first one. As far as for our players, we had a very good team out, like a really strong team. I was surprised how strong we played. I don't think it was necessary, but it worked out. It's good to have, like I said, positive result. Kane, hat-trick, lovely. Got to see it. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how many European goals he's on now, but it's up there. It's getting, and it keeps on adding up. So that's a positive.
Okay. Well, let me get in before Kamal starts his in-depth analysis. Again, great win. Echo everything Jamal said, but our defense really does scare me. I mean, they were very good technically. Totally agree. But if they'd have put their chances away, it could have been 7-5, 7-4, etc. It could have been. They had some good chances. Defense-wise, going forward, we look really good. I thought Steven Bergwijn had a good game. Again, his finishing is not great, but I think his link-up play and his touch was pretty good. Moura had a good game. Obviously, Kane, star striker. At the back, Doherty looked a bit shaky for me. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe there's some issues there. Ben Davies looked really good again. Obviously he made some mistakes, but that's just a normal game. But overall, I was happy. We got through. It was a pretty strong team, and I think we needed a strong team. Any weaker team than that, we could have been struggling, So I'm happy, but in summary, I'm happy with it, but still got some concerns about the defense. Still don't have that elusive clean sheet that we're I think I'll dance around naked if we get a clean sheet.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We get there.
Hopefully not on this channel.
Not on this channel,
No.
yeah. But it's a kids-friendly channel, so I definitely want to do it on it. But those are my thoughts. Kamal, I know you're bursting to say what you think. Come on.
I absolutely. I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? We sit here, we beat a team at 7-2. I mean, very rarely do teams score 7 goals. If we'd put away our chances, it could have been 15-2. They put all their chances away. Let's say the real score for the game would have been 15-8 or something stupid like that. And frankly, it's not good enough, is it? I mean, we Lo Celso was just superb. He put away 2 chances, take him straight off, right thing. Should Kane have come on in the second half? I felt very comfortable that he carried on because of the news that we're going to talk about soon about Carlos Vinicius. So I'm glad that he got some more minutes in. However, Sanchez passed the ball to the player, to Abu Fani, right, or to one of their players who passed it to Abu Fani to put in that spectacular shot, passed it to him. It was basically, he had no pressure on him. He kicked out the ball, passed it to their player. He passed it to Abu Fani. Sanchez standing there watching, what have I done? Didn't close anybody down. The guy had all the time in the world. Fantastic finish. No chance for Joe Hart. Mm-hmm. Overall, I thought Joe Hart had a really good game.
I was just about to say, I thought Joe Hart played really well, actually, yeah.
I mean, the horror stories we've heard about Joe Hart, never could get in the Burnley team. I mean, I don't think of a player that could, from Burnley, apart from maybe someone in their defence, could get in our team. Overall, he had a good game. He pulled off a couple of very good saves, which he shouldn't have had to pull off. If you think about the fact that Maccabi Haifa had more shots on goal than Chelsea had against us. I think they had about 7 or 8. I mean, it's a joke. Again, good old Ben Davies. Good game. Good ball for the first goal. Excellent. But again, for some reason, he has this bizarre talent of hitting the back of our players full on in the penalty area. He did that the last game, nearly gave a goal away. Did it again. What is wrong with this guy?
One thing I want to say in his defence, he actually made the Lo Celso's first goal. If he had stretched out and got that, Lo Celso couldn't have scored that. So I'll give him.
I did want to say, I think he's been listening to I think you speaking, and he heard what you said about not providing the assists, and he got 2 today. Technically,
technically he did, but he likes to smack the ball against his own player in the penalty area to wonder where it would go. It's a ping pong. Let's see if we can give something away. Doherty, I think we really need to talk about Doherty. I know that, 2 penalties in 3 games now, both handballs, right? Maybe this one may not have been given through VAR, and maybe we wouldn't have got the other one through VAR, but Delhi's was a clear penalty, no doubt about that. And I mean, you really got to wonder. Come on, you've been around a long time. You're supposed to be a top player, right? You cannot give away cheap penalties.
Let me, in his defence, they're hitting the ball at his hand. His hand's at his side. What do you want him to do?
Those penalty rules.
Penalties are ridiculous. They're ridiculous penalties. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Even our penalty should not have stood. That was.
I don't think their penalty was a penalty, and don't think our penalty was a penalty. It's ridiculous.
I think Delhi's penalty was definitely.
Delhi's definitely was a penalty.
Yes, that was some nice bit of skill.
So what do we think? Jamal, what do you think about Dele Alli's performance? Coming on for 1.5.
I think he's doing really well. He played really well. I think it was encouraging to see. But it's like, has he got the mentality to play at a game where we're not winning, by 3 goals at a time? And that's where it makes you wonder. It's like, is he mature enough to actually have Jose's confidence? I don't think he is. And it's going to be a tough season for him. That's all I can say. I mean, he's good and he does his flicks and tricks, but that's not what Jose wants to see on the field.
Kamal, what's happened to the Dele Alli that was storming into box, making these assists or in this goal? What's gone wrong?
I think the 2 best things that he did in that game was when he actually left the ball. I did a dummy that moved away. Good. Now, he does a lot of that in the Premiership, and it never, ever works. However, against a team like this, he looks pretty good. I wouldn't like to see him do more of that in the Premiership because it never does work. They sussed him out on that one. I don't know where the Dele Alli was because, he got into the box that time for the penalty, but the shot that he took when he had a chance, right, normally, it was awful. I think his tracking back was poor for somebody who's only come on for half the time.
I think he looks out of shape. He looks out of shape. He doesn't look like
he looks out of shape, completely out of shape. I also thought, to be perfectly honest with you, the respect we gave them at halftime, the first 10, 15 minutes that they had at the halftime, what the hell was going on? We couldn't get the ball. It was ping pong. Every time we got it, we were like we were on ice, as Steve would have liked to say, and they just kept coming at us. And that only changed when Højbjerg went off and Sissoko came on. Sissoko came on, that was it.
A big difference.
Yeah, but
total difference.
I think you got to cut them a bit of slack first, because a lot of these guys played on Tuesday. You know, Højbjerg.
Yeah,
a lot of these guys played on Tuesday. They must be knackered, man.
I was very impressed with Bergwijn playing the whole 90 minutes. I thought he would come off at one point.
And I think Bergwijn needed those 90 minutes. I think he needed to get his touch back. And
he grew into that game.
Shots were awful.
Some
of his later shots were a lot better. So it looked like he was getting better in form. I think he needed it. I thought Moura was incredible. It was so good. Some of his touches were just
I've got my note here is Moura is exceptional. ... Sometimes, like his consistency.
He can turn it on when he wants to.
If he could play like that, 80% of the time, my God, he would be an incredible player.
Well, this is my comment about people like Moura, Dele Alli, Bergwijn. What we call, there's a saying called flat track bullies. When you get people that are not that great, they look spectacular. Put them against some really good teams, and they're just like they can't cope. So I hope it's not that case, but I hope
that's not fair, because I've seen Moura play. He played well against Liverpool.
Not Moura. I wasn't thinking about Moura. I'm not thinking about Moura. Moura and Bergwijn and Dele Alli. Moura I'll never say anything bad against Moura. Don't worry.
But I remember last when Mourinho was at Manchester United and Moura came along and scored those 2 goals, right?
Yeah.
We destroyed them 3-0. That was incredible. When he starts to score, he's good. And the good thing for us with Moura is he's had 2 goals in 3 games.
Yes.
Let's hope that continues. Just a couple of shout-outs here, which I think we need to say. Lo Celso got 2 goals. He only got 2 goals all of last season, so he's doubled his tally for Spurs. Isn't that incredible in one game?
It was great.
Secondly, just another point is now Harry Kane is now only 6 goals away from getting to 200 goals for Tottenham. He's 3rd of our all-time goal
record, definitely.
Yes.
He's got to, right?
Yeah. He has to.
Okay. So, guys, I think we've had a decent discussion about that. Good win. Some issues still to worry about, but we don't really care.
A tired team.
We're into the group stages. Hopefully we get a good draw in that, and then we can progress. So that's great.
Can we just say one final word? As a Spurs fan, we're never satisfied. 7-2. I wanted 10-2. When I got to 10-2, I'd want 15-2. So let's accept the fact that some of us are pretty.
I think it was a great win, and keep on going.
Keep on going. Okay, excellent. Now we've all known since Fernando Llorente left, we've not had a backup striker for Harry Kane. And now the rumours, very strong rumours in Sky Sports, everywhere else, that we're going to sign a striker from Benfica called Carlos Vinicius. I personally don't know much about him. Kamal, did you want to say something about him? Tell us a little bit about the guy who's going to be joining our club.
So I got some good information on him. Carlos Vinicius, Brazilian striker, plays for Benfica currently. Hopefully be playing for Tottenham Hotspurs very soon. So he was loaned out. He was bought by Napoli in 2018, so not too long ago, from a small Portuguese team before he came from Brazil a couple of years before that. Was loaned out then to Monaco in January 2019, and then Benfica paid £15.5 million for him last summer, 2019. Since that, he's gone on. He's had last season he had 49 appearances in all competitions and scored 24 goals with 13 assists. Pretty good numbers. He already has a Champions League goal to his name in 5 matches, and so he's got some experience, good experience, pedigree, exactly. And I'm looking very much forward to having him on our team.
So how many goals did he get last season, Jamal? Do you know? Was it 20?
Last season, 24 and 49 appearances.
18 in the league.
13 assisted.
Oh, perfect. My big worry was this guy is going to be another Joe Linton, but hopefully he's not going to be another Joe Linton.
Well, I think the thing is that, if we look, we say we haven't signed other striker since Llorente left, Fernando Llorente left, right? That was three transfer windows ago. 3 transfer windows they've had a chance to sign somebody, and we haven't. A lot of people would argue that for Llorente's worth was really his holding up and his heading of the ball. As a goal scorer, that we had a lot better goal scorers than Llorente in the team. We were lucky to get 2 or 3 goals out of him. To have a player who scored over 20 goals in a season, is in itself got to be impressive. The Portuguese league is not such a bad league. We can always remember Janssen had a great year, didn't he? Before he came and scored 20 or 30 goals, right? Couldn't hit the backside of a cow with a banjo, as they say, when he came to Spurs. So that's one thing. But the fact that this guy plays for Benfica, they're not no slouches. Not a small team. It's a good team. He's Portuguese, technically. Well, he's Brazilian, but he's played in Portugal. Mourinho must like that very, very much. I mean, look what the Brazilian speakers and the Portuguese players have done for Wolves with Nuno Santos. So what we're seeing is that Mourinho building around him players that he likes, the kind of players that he likes. And, it's got to be exciting because when's the last time Tottenham signed 6 players and potentially, if we get a defender, 7 players in one transfer window? That in itself, the last time we did that was with Gareth Bale money, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
So what I also like about all of our signings, not just this new potential signing, is that they're older than it's not. I mean, our track record is buying players under 24, thinking how they're gonna do. We'll see how they do 2 or 3 years from now, such as Sessegnon. This doesn't always work out, and it's nice that Levy is giving Jose the opportunity to do what he needs to do with the squad, and
good
positive times.
All looking positive for Carlos Vinicius. We'll wait till the thing is actually signed, and we'll be happy about that.
Honestly, I mean, we could have bought a player from the 3rd division. If he would have been a backup striker, a genuine striker, I would have been happy. So, but it's good to have a second striker.
Take off some of the pressure on Son as well. So, yeah. So let's now talk about the quarterfinal draw, which is Kamal. Can you tell us the quarterfinal draw?
Well, I think it's great that Arsenal have had to knock out Liverpool, and now they're going to host Manchester City. So that's 50% of the work done for us.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Venus. Yeah, and what we've got is Stoke. Is it at home or is it away?
It's away.
Away. And I think that these are the sort of games that Mourinho thrives on. I mean, Mourinho is a cup winner. He likes to win cups. He knows how to win cups. And this is right up his street. He's basically getting himself into the quarterfinal. He's not going to miss out on that one. And that gives him a way into the semi-final, 2 games away from the first cup. So I could see him putting a lot of effort into this.
Jamal?
Yeah, absolutely. As my dad said there, we're not going to lose that match, I don't think. I hope not, at least. Mourinho's going to go all out. 3 more matches, and then we're at a cup. I think this is the kind of match that by the time hopefully Bale will be back, it's one of cold wet night in Stoke. That's a Bale opportunity if there ever was one.
No, but the beauty I think is here, if we can beat Stoke, which we should do, then the semi-finals are 2-legged affair, and I'd back Mourinho at 2-legged against anybody because he can do a strategy, and then we're in the final.
It's a 2-legged affair, yeah.
In the final, anything can happen. So a great draw for us, really.
It really is. We're very lucky.
Yeah. I think that the Chelsea was a slippery banana in between two, within a middle game with 2 other games sandwiched right in between with 2 days apart. And obviously, financially, this game today was more important because this will pay for Carlos.
Exactly.
He needed the money to pay for Carlos, so we got the money to pay for Carlos, and we've got an easy game, and we're in the quarterfinals of the Carabao. So far, so good, I would say. I think it's not been a bad week.
No,
not at all.
I mean, and all of that without Bale. We got Bale to come on. I mean, if we needed a player to come, we needed to give him the time to get better. This was the time, right?
Absolutely.
I'm a bit sad that he won't be playing on against Manchester United on Sunday. But I mean, I'd rather him fully fit, full charging ahead with the 2-week break coming up.
Yeah, he's not fully fit for that one.
So, I mean, I could just have a quick word about Manchester United. I mean, it's time now.
We gave them a quick word about the game on Sunday.
It's time now. We gave them a good spanking. We gave those Reds a good spanking because they took a very dodgy point off us at the beginning of when they came.
Poor penalty we gave away.
Without Pogba just falling over without just even hardly being touched. I mean, it was an outrage. It was a crime against humanity, I would call it.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see another one of those crime against humanity VAR calls against Man United.
I mean, I mean, let's face it. We'll be playing 12 men at Old Trafford. We'll be playing the 11 on the pitch and the VAR. Alex Ferguson sitting in the VAR box. So we've got to be very careful there. But I think he puts out a very strong team. We get ourselves up there. Will Ndombele play? I don't know, but maybe he should have had a run out in the second half today.
I think he needed a break. Yeah, he's played so much football.
These guys played on Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just that game. It was the week before we played on a Thursday.
Played on a Sunday,
I mean,
Newcastle.
I don't. Will Vinicius be ready for it? I don't know. But all I do know is that they are weak at the back. They can be punished. That is a team that deserves a good spanking. I think they were so, again, lucky against Brighton. They did not deserve to win that. Again, you know, Alex Ferguson in the VAR box did it again for them. We've got to be careful of that.
You say they're not good at the back, well, neither are we. So this keeps everything out, yeah? If we could just shore up defence and have regular clean sheet, I honestly think we could challenge for the title.
One of these days, I mean, absolutely.
Against Newcastle, we were excellent at the back against Newcastle. I mean, you know, Dyer had a man of the match game against Chelsea, which was quite incredible, and I'm glad he didn't play today. So if he can keep that level up, because he seems to be creeping up very slowly, getting there. If he get back to the old Dyer, which Mourinho clearly has seen something there, then I think the worry for me against Manchester United is he will be tempted not to play Toby and put first.
I know that's what my question was going to be.
And you know, then you know, let's face it, he's going to give away at least three mistakes.
Well, Toby's not going to play because he played Tuesday.
It is a shame.
There's no way he's going to play Sunday. So
Jamal, he's done so well.
Who's the centre back there? Going to be Jamal?
It's like what I was saying. It's most likely going to be Sanchez, Dyer. I don't see it being anything else. I would love to have Toby. I think Toby's done fantastically well these last two matches, and it's just been great to have him there. You feel so comfortable when he's on the ball.
Okay, guys, let's wrap it up. That's a wrap. Let's give your predictions for Sunday, please. So I'm going to go and say 2-1 Tottenham. Kamal?
I would love to say 7-2 Tottenham, just stay there for today. But I would. I mean, we always let in 2 goals. So let's say Manchester United 2. I'm hoping it's going to be Tottenham 3.
Jamal?
So I was leaning towards the 2-1-2, but I could see a Mourinho masterclass. You know, 1-0, good 3 points. Take it on.
Okay. Jamal, did you want to say anything to the viewers before we leave?
Yeah, absolutely. Please, you guys continue watching. Thank you for the views out there. Please comment, like, and subscribe. You know, every comment does help. Every like and subscribe is keeps us going. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Jamal. One thing I'd like to say to the viewers: tell us what you want us to talk about, what you're interested in. Just put it in the comment section, and we'll do it. And we're trying to get guests on as well. We're really here for you so that you can see what we're talking about, and please join in the conversation and be part of the conversation.
And Steve will be back for the next talk.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
I know.